Are you struggling how to bid your lawn care jobs fairly without cutting your own throat? Are you showing up blind, wasting time walking the yard just to guess a price? Do you feel like you're losing jobs, or even worse, losing money because you're not quoting like a pro? If that's you, I've been there. Let me show you how to use Google Earth and Google Maps, along with my lawn care calculator, to quote jobs with more confidence and avoid major pitfalls before you even step foot on the property. Having a clean, consistent quoting system not only saves you time, but it also helps you avoid underbidding. It shows your clients you're professional, but these tools aren't a replacement for walking the property. They're how you get ahead. They let you show up informed. With Google Maps and my quoting system, you will walk in with square footage, a rough estimate, and a heads up on potential time costing factors, like fruit trees, trampolines, steep slopes, and maybe even access. You're not guessing. You're prepared. So the first thing that I do is I get my mower at my home or a yard that I know. I set a timer on my phone and I mow my yard. I trim it, I edge it, and then I blow it. And then I go back and I stop my timer. And in my yard, it tells me it's about an hour and a half for me to do everything I want to do on my yard. My yard is about 5,000 square feet. I'm going to need these two numbers moving forward: how many square footage my yard is and how much time it takes me to do my yard. The other thing I'm going to need to know is how much I want to make per hour, and I'll show you that when we jump into the calculator. I'm going to show you on a yard that I mow. I'm going to plug in their address here into Google, and I'm going to show you how I use Google Maps to figure out how to do the square footage on their yard. All right, let me walk you through how I actually use Google Maps, Google Earth, and Street View to bid a lawn job step by step. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to Google Maps. We'll use that. I'm going to punch in my address here, and we are going to go to the address. All right, so most of the time I get a lead through a text, a Facebook message, or a voicemail, and all I need to do is start with the address. I plug it into Google Maps, and then I switch to satellite view. Down here in the bottom corner, you have all these different layers. You can look at the terrain, traffic if you want, transit, biking, more. I like to go into this one, and I like to choose satellite. All right, so here's the home we are looking at right here. From here, I use either the built-in measure tool in Google Maps, or I hop over to Google Earth, which can give you a little bit more control sometimes when measuring irregular spaces. But what I'm looking for is the mowable turf, the areas I'll actually be maintaining. No need to measure the driveways or rock beds. I'm focused on lawn footage. You know, if maybe you're a roofer, maybe you would measure out the roof. If you were doing concrete, you would measure out the area of your concrete job. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, and we are going to go down to measure distance. So it puts this little white dot on the screen, and I'm going to move this white dot to my starting point right here. It doesn't have to be exact. You're just getting a rough idea. Left click, 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 left click. Okay, so now down here I have a total area of 996 square feet. And now we're going to measure the rest of the property. So what you can do is you can right click, go down to clear measurement, and then I want to get this park strip, so I'm going to right click, I'm going to go measure distance. And like I said, sometimes this measure distance can pop up kind of in the wrong spot. Just move it. Left click, left click, left click, and then close the loop. 83 square feet. Write that down. Right click, clear measurement. We're going to go into the backyard. I'm just going to start right here at the pool just to show you. We're going to right click, measure distance. Oh, my dot's in the wrong spot. Left click and hold onto that dot while holding left click. Move it wherever you want. Left click, left click, left click, left click, left click, left click, left click. 1,907 square feet. What's cool is it gives you this linear feet, the total distance. Right click, clear measurement. Let's say in the wintertime you offer holiday lighting you go and you put Christmas lights on people's houses. Right click, measure distance. We're going to just move that right there. Left click, left click, left click, left click, left click, left click. So the roof is 1,940 square feet. So if you're a roofer, knowing that you had 1,940 square feet would help you kind of start getting in the zone of what you're going to charge roofing wise, unless you were doing the eaves or, you know, roof jacks. There's other things that come into that. If you were doing lighting, you would know that you had 183 linear feet in what we measured. And then, you know, there was this second part of the roof right here that if we wanted to measure that, we could just measure that. So you can look at the linear feet or you can look at the square footage. So now that we have our total area and we've totaled those up and we've wrote them down on our notepad, we're going to jump over into the lawn quote calculator and plug those in over there. Before we jump into the calculator with our measurements, I want to just show you one more thing real quick. Down here in the bottom, you can click the Street View here in the bottom, and it's going to take you to Street View. This is where Street View really comes in clutch. I drop onto the ground level so I can spot some of the details the area view sometimes can't show me. Maybe like steep slopes or uneven ground. I can see here that the front yard kind of slopes off to the left. I can see this gate access right here that I can get into the backyard. I can see maybe some tight access spots like the boat over here. Maybe it might be a little bit difficult to get some machines down the side of that, but there is a double access gate. I can see the trampoline back here. There's the edge of the pool through the gate. You can see overgrown areas if they have gardens that are out of control. And plus I can, you know, there's the house number. I can get a shot of the home. I know what I'm going to be pulling up to when I get to the home. If I'm doing some holiday lighting, I can see how many eaves. I can see my ladder access. It gives me kind of a feel if I was going to be doing Christmas lighting on this place. It just gives me a better view of the property, and that's what I really like about the Street View on Google Maps. So now let's jump over to the calculator. Let's enter in some numbers over there. Okay, once you gain access to the lawn care pricing system access page, you'll be able to click on the lawn estimator tool. And once you click on the lawn estimator tool, it's going to ask if you want to make a copy. You're going to click make a copy, and it's going to take you into the tool. Down at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see 4 steps here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Step 1, start here. This is all the directions on how to use all the different steps, 1 through 4, so that you can create a quote for your customer. We're just going to move right on to step 2. The numbers that we gathered before when we were in Google Maps, we had a front yard of 996 square feet. We had a backyard of 1,907, and then we had a park strip of 83 square feet, giving us a total of 2,986. So now when you move into step 3, that 2,986 will auto-populate in both of these sections here. There's a top section and a bottom section. The top section is what I use to put in my square footage for my yard. My yard was 4,900 square feet. It takes me about an hour and a half to mow, trim, edge, and blow the sidewalks. If I want to make $50 an hour, I can click that. That gives me my rate per square foot. Now my total job price is $75 per time. So that kind of gives me an idea of what I want to do. If I were to aerate my yard, I'd say it'd take me just about the same amount of time, 1.5 hours. If I wanted to make, say, $60 an hour, it tells me that I'm going to be charging $90. So this kind of gives me an idea. Off my own yard, I can adjust this hourly rate to give me a feel of what I feel would be fair. Do I feel that $90 would be fair to mow my yard once a week? Yes or no, that's up to you in your area. Now that I know what I want to charge for all these services, I can then go down here to the real job. So this yard is a little bit smaller at 2,986 square feet versus my 4,900. So it's going to take me a little bit less time. I'm just going to leave that at 1.25. But if it was going to obviously take you longer, you can change that to whatever you like. And that's critical that you make sure that you change that so your calculation comes out right in the end here. But I'm just going to leave that right there for now. This is the job that we were looking at 5173. It was 2,986 square feet. I want to make $60 an hour. So it's telling me that yard is going to be $45.70. This just gives me kind of an idea. If I wanted to aerate it at $60, I'd be looking at $45.70. Aerating, I usually charge a little bit more when I do yards, you know, the first time. And you can adjust these hourly rates. Power raking is a big job. I usually charge pretty good money on that. See, now you can't find 120, but what you can do is you can just go in here and you can just type in 120 and it'll auto-populate anyway. Just because it's not in the drop down doesn't mean you can't override that. If you mess anything up, just go back into your master file, copy it again, and it'll be brand new again. It will undo any pitfalls you ran into. I've got weekly lawn maintenance on here. Let's say it's a first mow. It hasn't been mowed for the year. It's the first mow of the season. I usually charge twice as much as I would than weekly lawn maintenance on the first mow. That would be $91.41. So I'm going to charge that. Let's say they want to be aerated too. I charge around, $80, so it's $60 to aerate. Let's say they want the power raking on there. Are we doing a first mow on it? The first mow, I'll usually charge more than a flat rate, anywhere between $90 and $120. So what's nice over here on the right hand side, you can include in quote and you can just hit the blue boxes and then you move on to step 4. Right here, anything you checked in that sheet on this side over here, anything you check right here, if you want to add fertilizing to that and you click that, it's going to show up here on step 4. It's going to be in your total. If they decide that they don't want to do the power raking, they just want to stick with the aerating, go back here, you unclick the power raking tab. It's going to remove that from that quote. Down here, you can change your own logo. You can change your information in here. If you have a different phone number, you can come up top here and you can type in your new phone number and it'll populate down here. You can change this icon out for another image if you want. You can add a new image. You can change any of these. And like I said, if you mess anything up, all you do is go back into your lawn care pricing system page, click on that link, and it's going to take you to this screen here where you can go make a copy. If you mess it up, you can start all over again if you happen to mess any of this up. You can put your customer's name in here. You can change the name from John Smith to Beth Robinson. You can change the address. You can do whatever. What's nice about this too is now I will go and I will print this. Okay, and now we will just click print. How cool is that? Now we have an estimate in hand, ready to send. While you can use this app on a phone in the field, the experience is much smoother and easier on a laptop or desktop, especially when exporting clean PDFs for clients. That's why most users collect notes in the field, then finalize and send quotes to the customers from the home or office. I just go into step 4. Click File at the top of the page, scroll down to Download, then choose PDF. That gives me a clean, professional estimate I can text or email directly. And hey, we're already working on a mobile-friendly version to fix that problem. Something fast and simple, but built specifically for quoting on the go. If you grab the desktop version now, you'll be the first to hear about the mobile release, and you'll be the first to get access to early perks and discounts. I really appreciate your time today. I genuinely hope you walked away with some real value. Try this process on your next job, even if it's just using your phone, Google Maps, and a notepad. You'll quote faster and feel more confident, and start spotting those time wasters before you even get out of the truck. If you want the exact tools I used in this video, the lawn care pricing calculator tool and the quote template, I bundled them down below in the lawn care pricing system. You can find a link to my stand store down below in the description or in the pinned comment. I also added a couple bonuses to help you stay profitable and close more jobs. But I'll let you find out what those are when you click the link below. Let's just say they're some of the tools I wish I would have had given to me when I first started. You'll get everything you need to stop quoting blind and start quoting like a pro. Clean, fast, fair. Leave me some fire in the comments if you've ever walked a job that didn't convert or underbid a job that put you under. Let me know in the comments below. And if this video helped you, it would help me if you simply gave me a thumbs up below. Go ahead and subscribe as well. I've got more tips and strategies coming soon. And if you like this video, you'll probably like this one right here too. Thanks for joining me on my 4 million by 50 journey. My name is Will, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.